Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers. Welcome to the Cricket Happening Show with your host Ram. And on this part of Cricket Happening Show, the first T20 between Scotland and Pakistan, which was having a lot of hype, lot of interest was there after Scotland had upstaged England in the solitary ODI, and there was a lot of interest there. But yes, it was Pakistan definitely showing that they are the number one ranked T20 side in the world when they won the match against Scotland in the first T20 to take a 1-0 lead in the series. Sarfraz Ahmed, the Pakistan captain, hit some really very good form. After quite a long time, probably 8 to 10 innings, he has been going without any good score under his belt. And finally comes in, promotes himself in the batting order on a good batting pitch in Edinburgh, and comes in and thrashes 89 or 49 balls to pull the fat out of the fire for the Pakistanis. And eventually it's a victory for Pakistan. So that is something that I will be talking about. We'll be looking at that in a much greater detail. And then the first match in the Tri-Nation series happening between today Netherlands and Ireland was a low-scoring affair, and in the end it was Netherlands. So even though they made only 144, they prevailed over Ireland. Simi Singh was someone who was expected to. He was the one who put up the all-round performance, first to the ball and then with the bat, and tried to bring them as close to victory as possible. But unfortunately, it was not to be. They required 6 runs for the final delivery, and unfortunately, Simi Singh could not finish it off. And also, the first ODI is starting between Australia and England. It's the first of the ODI season. For Australia, it's a new beginning since they have already lost. Lost the services of David Warner and Stephen Smith, the captain, after what happened. So basically, so that is something that they have to really work on now. And it's a new side, definitely full of fire, no doubt about it. But definitely one can understand as to what role David Warner and Stephen Smith are playing. So Australia, after that episode, for the first time, are getting into real cricket, and the first ODI between Australia and England, which I will try to do a brief preview. But let's talk about the Pakistan-Scotland game. So Pakistan were the ones who actually batted first, and they put up the second highest score by the Pakistan team in T20 cricket when they raced 204 for 4. Fakhar Zaman started off in aggressive fashion and hit 21 of 15, 2 fours and 1 6. Ahmed Shahzad made 14 of 12 deliveries, 2 fours. Hussain Talat was a victim of Berrington, 18 of 16, 2 fours. But so they were definitely 87 for 3 at that stage when Hussain Talat was also out, and that was in the halfway stage in the 11th over. Now, one was really surprised, but Sarfraz Ahmed, the Pakistan captain, really accepted the challenge, and he decided that he would actually promote himself in the batting order, and that's what he precisely did. And he came in and he was really a sort of caning the Scottish bowling. He was making the bowling look very ordinary. In fact, he also started off in a bit of a tentative fashion, but really took off nicely, and he got company from Shoaib Malik. What a partnership! It was something. It was from 87 for 3 in the 11th over. Till the 19th over, Shoaib Malik and Sarfraz Ahmed were not supported. So basically, it was Sarfraz Ahmed getting into some form, and Shoaib Malik showing all his experience by banging 5 sixes in a quick fire knock of 53 of 27 deliveries before becoming a victim of Evans, who was the best bowler today for the Scottish side, picking up 3 wickets. And 96 runs were added in 8 overs, so it was really very good hitting. And Sarfraz Ahmed in particular was really showing his game that he is capable of, as he made 89 unbeaten runs of 49 deliveries, which included 10 fours and 3 sixes. And Shoaib Malik's contribution was a hard hit 53 of 27 deliveries, and thanks to Sarfraz Ahmed and Shoaib Malik, Pakistan reached 204 for 4. Asif Ali was not out on 1. Now 204 for 4. The bowling, if you look at it, Mohammad Shahid, the best bowler was Craig Evans. Evans did a wonderful job. 4 overs 3 for 23. 4 overs for 43 for Safyan Sharif. Michael Ward, the left arm spinner, was a bit costly. 4 overs none for 42. Hamza Tahir was making his debut today, and he was taken to the cleaners. His 4 overs cost 57 runs, and one was wondering as to why Hamza Tahir, who was actually making his debut, it was not good captaincy, I thought, because to get him to bowl to this marauding Sarfraz Ahmed and Shoaib Malik when they were in full flow, and that was the time, it was the death overs, and Hamza Tahir really got a severe beating on his debut. But Evans was very impressive. Lee Scott 1 over for 6, and Bredington 3 overs 1 for 29. Now Scotland were given a target of 205 runs to actually go on and win the match. And well, they started off in some really whirlwind fashion, one could say, which was good to see. They, in fact, the run rate that they needed with the Pakistan putting on 204 was basically at the rate of 10.2, and the openers were absolutely equal to the task. Kyle Coetzer, in fact, hit a overhead 6 of the bowling of Mohammad Amir. Munshi surprised everybody by playing a reverse sweep shot which sailed for 6 of the bowling of Mohammad Nawaz, which was a treat to watch. And Kyle Coetzer was very aggressive, and Munshi and Coetzer opened the innings, and they put on 53 good runs in 5.1 overs, which was good to see. Coetzer contributing 31 of 18 deliveries, 4 fours and 1 6. Munshi pasting 25 of 22, 2 fours and 1 6. But then once it was like getting the foot in the door, and once they got the wicket of Munshi, when Hassan Ali picked up the wicket of Munshi, Barrington, Shadab Khan was also into the mix, and Shadab Khan claimed the wicket of Barrington by clean bowling him for 3. And then one was really looking forward to the battle between Callum McLeod, who made 140 of 94 balls the other day, as we have seen that he's a good player of leg spin as well, and he definitely played a beautiful sweep shot of the bowling of Shadab Khan for a boundary, but Shadab Khan did him with the wrong one in the next over, and McLeod was gone. LBW bowled Shadab Khan for 12, 15 deliveries, 1 4. Budge was making his debut. Budge the other day could not do any, but today he made 24 of 21 deliveries, which included 2 sixes as well. But again, it was a tall task for them. There was nobody who was. Michael Leask was showing that his plundering abilities by hitting an unbeaten 38, and kept the match going. And for a moment, we thought that Don Budge and Michael Leask they pasted 40 runs of 2 overs, but unfortunately that was it for them. Budge was out for 24. Leask remained not out. Michael Leask remained not out on 38 of 24 deliveries, 3 fours and 2 sixes. Cross was out for 13, and finally what Scotland could muster was 156 for 6, and this was a good victory for Pakistan, going 1-0 up in the T20, the two match series. They won the match by 48 runs. Yes, they definitely did very well. And looking at the bowling, Mohammad Nawaz 4 overs 1 for 22 did his job very well. Mohammad Amir was it was surprising to see that Mohammad Amir was really giving a pasting, especially Kyle Coetzer and Munshi at the top of the order. 4 overs 1 for 45. Hassan Ali 4 overs 2 for 33. Fahim Ashraf 3 overs none for 23. Shadab Khan did his job, 4 overs 2 for 25. And Hussain Talak 1 over for 4. But the best part, or the best thing, or the best news for Pakistan is that the Pakistan captain Sarfraz Ahmed, after a long drought of low scores, finally came up with the goods here, and that will give him a lot of confidence, and he was also declared man of the match. Now let's go into the next match, which are talking about the first match which was played between Netherlands and Ireland. As I said, it was a sort of a very low scoring affair, with Netherlands actually batting first and posting 144 and 144. They were bowled out for 144. If you look at the card there for Netherlands, VC made 15 of 8 balls, 3 fours. Dowd was out for 20 of 14, 3 fours. Cooper made 14 of 12, 1 4, 1 6. Zulfikar 1, lead 33 of 35, which included 3 fours. Seelaar was the new captain of the Netherlands team, and he did his bit. He was the highest scorer today with 36 of 28 deliveries, 4 fours. Sikandar Zulfikar 1, Edwards 1, Snater 2, Klassen not out 1, Macron 4. 144 all out. If you look at the Irish bowling, McCarthy was most impressive, 4 overs, 3 for 26, 1 wicket apiece to Dockrell and Shane Thompson. Simi Singh was really bowled very well, 3.5 overs, no made in 3 for 23. And Simi Singh was the hero today because first he did it with the ball, and he also tried his best with the bat for the Ireland. And one would have thought with 144 being posted by Netherlands, Ireland would probably go and win this match. But definitely one has to say full credit to the New Zealand bowlers. They defended a score of 144 in a brilliant manner, I thought, with the top order being knocked off by the captain himself, Peter Seelaar, 4 overs, 3 for 25, Klassen 1 for 38. There were debuts too. There were a lot of debuts in fact. If you look at it, Saqib, Zulfikar, D. Reed, Edwards, Snater. So basically the Ireland team and both the teams were totally having 6 people on debut. And the Irish team really struggled actually. There were 15 for Shane Thompson, Sterling made 17, Porterfield 2, Wilson 5, Kevin O'Brien 6, Shannon 5, Pointer 7, and it was only they were really hemmed in by the Irish, by the Netherlands the Dutch bowlers, and it was really tough going for, even though they were chasing a low target. But Simi Singh put some real life back into it by slamming the bowlers as he continued his bowling effort by supplementing it with his batting effort. But finally they fell short by 6 runs with the final delivery. Simi Singh was required to hit a 6. In the end it was not to be. It was a Yorker which Simi Singh could not lift it for a 6, and the game was over. But Simi Singh remained not out on 57 of 29 deliveries, 4 fours and 3 sixes. Doctor was out for 9, Karthil 11, and the game was over with Netherlands actually beating Ireland, and that would do them a lot of good, no doubt about it. 3 for 25 for Seelaar, 1 for 38 Klassen, Snater 2 for 25, Wien Mekeren 1 for 20. So it was a good bowling effort from the Dutch bowlers, one thought, and definitely it was a good man. Now very quickly, a skimmer of a preview of the first, as I said, the ODI series coming up between Australia and England. Tomorrow is the first match which is going to be played, and let's talk about the first ODI. Do a brief preview. As I said, let's look at Australia first, and this is going to be played at the Oval, and it says that there could be a lot of purchase for the spin bowlers, so it will be interesting to see as to what really goes on. As far as Australia are concerned, they are coming back. They are for the first time after the ball tampering episode that happened in South Africa, where David Warner and it was involving David Warner, Stephen Smith, and also Cameron Bancroft. Cameron Bancroft, as you know, he has just made his entry into cricket, but 2 players direly missed would be these 2, Warner and Smith, and it will be seen as to how much they both are missed. I'm sure they're going to be missed, so I would probably say that I'm definitely going to be telling the world's number 1 ranked ODI side would be the favourites in this case, because these 2 are really impact players, Stephen Smith and also Stephen Smith. So the captaincy would be in the hands of Tim Paine, the captain, the wicketkeeper, and the Australia will be opening up with DRC Short and Travis Head. Now, DRC Short is someone who really likes to belt the ball right from the beginning, and Travis Head is also a very good stroke maker. So they have two brand new openers there. DRC Short and Travis Head would open the innings for them. Marcus Stoinis is in some good nick after coming to England, and he has already hit a century also, as you would remember, in one of the two games. So he's in pretty good touch. Sean Marsh, Aaron Finch will be slotted in at number 5, and then Tim Paine, and then the all-rounder Ashton Agar. They have 8, and Michael Nesser would get his debut. Jai Richardson, the pace bowling resources, Australia definitely really crippled, I could say, because they don't have Stephen Smith, they don't have David Warner, they don't have Josh Hazlewood, there's no Mitchell Starc, and also one of the other bowlers. So basically, to me, they are really looking very thin on all aspects. And also, this is the first assignment for the new coach after Dan Lehman has left the scene, Justin Langer. So Australia definitely in some, I would say, not really looking very strong at all. Jai Richardson packs a lot of pace in his deliveries. It will be interesting to see how he goes. He's young, raw. It will be interesting there. Kane Richardson is the one who would be taking the mantle, the most experienced. So definitely the experience is also pretty negligible here. And Billy Stanlake is the tall, fast bowler who definitely has is a fine prospect, no doubt about it. And he has already bowled to the Englishmen and worried them as well. So one has to wait and watch as to what really comes. So definitely there is a new look to this Australian team, and it will be interesting to see where they go in the first ODI against England. So let's wait and enjoy the proceedings tomorrow at the Oval. And let's have the England team. England team definitely looking much stronger, much sharper. They are at full strength here. Johnny Bairstow has already scored 3 centuries, as you know, 3 ODI centuries on the trot, and he would definitely be gunning in for the 4th one. He has already created a record, but Bairstow would probably like to keep the record to his own for quite a long time by slamming another century against the Aussies, and this could be their best chance as well. England would be probably thinking that with the experienced bowlers not available, it's their chance for them to go and score some runs. And Johnny Bairstow and Jason Roy would be eyeing a very big partnership against the Aussies. Now, Jason Roy, it would be interesting as to what is the ploy that Australia adopt, because one has seen that Jason Roy is a bit of a suspect against spin bowling, whether the Aussie captain would be prompted to bring in the spin bowlers early. That would be another interesting question to be posed. Alex Hales is also looking good. Joe Root is the other one. Morgan is the one who would be captaining the side, as we all know. Josh Butler is back, so that is also good news for England. And then they have some good all-rounders. Moeen Ali is there. Adil Rashid is the leg spinner, and the bowling would be in the hands of Mark Wood, Liam Plunkett, Tom Curran. So in the bowling resources, to me, they probably are not looking so strong. So Australia's best bet would be to get runs on the board, and then hope that the Australian bowlers could actually clinch it for them. So, but all in all, as I said, it would be a sort of a wonderful exhibition, no doubt about it, and one is waiting to watch it. Well, dear fans and subscribers, I think that pretty much sums up this today's cricket show of mine. So it's time to say good night.